Sorry, I just needed to record that. Firstly, people, thank you all for joining the session from your home office during this time. The South African Oracle User Group has decided to now provide training from experts in the field. So what we are trying to do is contact different people in the field and ask them to give us 45 minutes of their time to share some knowledge into the community. So if you have implemented or done something in Oracle which you want to share to the Oracle user community, please do contact me and we will then go through, we will then arrange a session. Our main aim is to uplift the community and make sure that we are positively impacting the community. Okay. So just before we start, once the lockdown is over, we are planning a user group in Cape Town this year. Last year it was in Gauteng, so this year we are planning it in Cape Town at the Lord Charles Hotel in Stellenbosch, where we want to go ahead and share our knowledge to the community. So save those dates, the 9th and 10th of November 2020 in Stellenbosch. Please be ready to submit some papers to share to the community. About myself, my name is Ahmed Jassat. I look after the technology side of the community and a volunteer at the Oracle user community, Oracle user group. So that's all from me. I just like to know, Kavi, are you ready to start now? Kavi, are you ready now? Hello, Kavi.
Hello.
Name is Baby Charlie.
Hello, Kavi. Are you? Yeah, you can continue. You can share your screen and continue.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay. Hello, everyone. So we will just ask a request from Ahmed. I will cover our enterprise manager parts, how we manage the infrastructure and the database, right? So for all who are new to enterprise manager, I'll just show the screen so that you have an idea how is the architecture in the background when we will do the demo. So as you can see, we have the enterprise EM13 cloud is installed on one of the servers. We call it the OMS server. So it is the brain of the enterprise manager, right? This is where everything goes on, all the processes are started, and it picks up all the data that comes from the agents, from all the targets that we have, right? It handles all the management data from the agents. It handles all the administration requests from the user interface, where whenever you're surfing or you're browsing on your enterprise manager page, right? And then once, if you have set up any notification, it sends it to your email or it does it through SMS and so on. So this is all done through the management server. And then, as you can see in the picture here, we have agents that is installed on each and every servers that you manage, that you will manage. It can be a database server, it can be a WebLogic server, it can be any components Oracle has that you want to manage and monitor, right? So in some other words, we can say these are the nerve endings of within the architecture. So this is where all the data the agents gather and send it to the OMS for display, right? So the agents perform all the administration part of on those targets. And then The repository is it's a database, right, where all jump to our environment where we have our installed Enterprise Manager Cloud. Ahmed, just to check quickly, I am audible? Can you
Yes,
hear
yes,
me?
yes. We did have a dub, but you should be fine now.
Okay. All right. So this is the welcome page that I have set up for one of our customers, right? And we will use this environment for a demo because it's a bit complete in itself in terms of infrastructure, web logic, server applications, and so on. I think someone is talking. You can hear if you can set yourself on mute.
Okay, I'm busy managing them as they enter.
Okay. All right. Okay. So as you can see here, once the first to start with, we install our OMS on the server, and then we add agents. So once the OMS is installed, as per the guidelines given by Oracle, you need to set up targets. So the targets is you can add them manually. That's the way I have been doing. So I will add a target on a host. Like this is an example of how you do it. Okay, you install the agent on the host. You click on install agent, and then the wizard will guide you through adding the agent, and you select a host name that you have set up in your on the server, and then you select the environment, like it's a lineup, scroll up with the wizard and so on. So it does the installation, right? So I don't have any installation, so we will cancel this one. I will just show you one of the results that we have done, just an idea, right? So let's say we did this one in the past. So it just, the wizard, after you click install, it will just go and do some remote validations. It will transfer the agent software to the destination host. This is done automatically from the OMS, right? And then it does all the prerequisites, right? It checks if the software is certified on the operating system. Most of the case, you don't have, the software is not certified on a particular operating system, so you need then to go and upgrade your OS to the required certified matrix for the OS. Right, so what it checks
is going to be required of you is
okay, so it checks all the packages, all the required packages installed, the software is compatible with the OS, disk space, the right permissions, and so on, right? So all these tests are done, prerequisite, it checks before it goes to the next step. So once in between, if you have a problem or an error, it stops there, you have to go and sort it out in the background and come back, right? And then we have the agent deployment. So this is where it starts doing the installation. It secures, once the installation is done, it secures the agent, right? Encrypts all the data that will be moved from the agent, transferred from the agent to the OMS. Then the usual root.sh that you need to go in the background, go and run it on your target, and then you come back, you just acknowledge like you've done it, and then it continues to collect the logs and do the cleanups. So this is a typical target installation that you usually do, right? And then, as you can see, you have this. In fact, the OMS is always connected to the internet because you set it up to connect to Oracle using your credentials, right? like this is where you set your credentials, for example, here. And then it connects to My Oracle support and try to get all the latest updates that is available, right? Like you can see here. Am I still audible?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Carry on.
Okay, I'll just do some checkpoints so that I'm not talking to the.
Yes, yes, no, correct.
Okay, so it looks like we have a bit of a connection issue, so I'll just refresh. So bear with me sometimes, you know, nowadays everybody is using the internet and it's a bit of a problem. Okay, I think I lost this page. I will just reload it. You will see like, okay, the most refresh time that it connected to the database was just, I think, just now, right? And it goes and you can just go and download whatever software or the latest plugin you have for any components that you want to install, right? So here, this is under plugins, you will have an idea of the plugins that you can have, okay? In terms of databases, for example, here, you have all the separate different databases that you can install and discover within the OS, right? And here you can see the version of the latest plugin that we have downloaded, right? And you can just initiate a new deployment if you want, and you can go and download the latest version of the software from here. And then again, as I showed you, you can just go and upgrade your version of your targets, of your agents, and so on. Okay, so this was just very brief of how you do your agents, how you install your agents to connect to your OMS and feedback the information. So let's see, once we have done that, so what we have now is once you install your agent, you start, it goes and picks up all the information that is available on the node. So it collects all the data, whatever is can be discoverable in terms of database listeners, any components, it goes and do it, even your Linux. So let's have a look. Here we have all targets, and under all targets, those are the targets that your agents can collect, right? So in terms of applications, in terms of databases, in terms of groups, systems, your system, your middleware, right? Your servers and so on. So today we will cover, we said we will have a look at infrastructure and databases. So our infrastructure consists of, I created some groups here, right? As you can see, our system infrastructure, we have, in this environment, we have ODAs, Oracle Database Appliances. So of course, we have islands associated to them, right? And then once discovered, you can see we have the islands that we can see from here, right? So it gives you a direct view. Instead of going to your computer room, you can click on the island. It shows you that for the specific island that you have, right? You have a front view and a rear view, as well as a top view, as you can see here. And it's exactly the same that you will see in your computer room, right? And then it gives you all the incidents.
Yeah, so excellent, Kavi. I just want to add in here. So what we are looking at currently here is the physical server in the server room. Kavi does not have to take a walk to the server room. He doesn't have to be in the same country as the server room, but he's now looking at the physical server in the server room. Thank you, Kavi. You can proceed. I just wanted to add there.
Sure. Okay. So let me see this one. We did some changes last time. Okay, so whenever there is any critical issue or warning, it just displays here. Or
we are having some glitches with the presenter. I think we just have to be patient during this time. But
we can ignore that because this is mostly this is a bug, right? It's a non-critical bug that gets displayed in the critical section, which is a good thing. At least if it's not a critical, that goes to the non-critical, right? So we can ignore that. And then this is every time we restart. So we can always clear those errors as well. I'm not clearing for us to refer. Then you can see in the past we have removed some hardware in the ILOM, so it displays whenever you're doing anything, right, and any modification within the environment and so on. Under the drop down, you can you can go and monitor. You can set your metrics and collection, right? Yes. If this is up, all these are disabled, so you can always come and edit them, right? And send this. Notification how it's done. So we do have our mail servers that sends the email, right? And then we have a group where it sends the email to, right? And then all the users under that group will get notified of any issue that you have whenever you set the metrics and so on. Okay, so let's go back to our groups, ILOMs. I think I've covered that part already, so let's check it again. I'm going to refresh the page because something. I mean, every time we have somebody joining, I think it's just.
Yeah, no, I'm busy. As soon as I hear some background noise, I then go in mute the person. So.
I mean, my screen is freezing now and then. Okay, I just need to refresh it now and then, so just bear with me for that. All right, so what we did, where we were, for one of the ILOMs, right? Yeah, so you can control the ILOMs by setting the blackout. You can end the blackout and send a notification on, right? And then you have the dashboard that you can set as well. And this one, we don't have a proper dashboard set for this one. It's not really critical. Okay, so this is where you have your dashboards, and it displays all the errors and that you can clean up now and then. Whenever, if you want to keep some, you can keep it for your future reference, or you can even acknowledge and set them away till you want to delete them. So this is an example where you can acknowledge this one, right? And then let's say this one, and then you can clear it at a later point in time, right? Click on acknowledge to acknowledge it, and then it just goes away and so on. All right, so let's have a look at the other groups that I have created. Okay, we've seen islands. I just want to cover the one of the host. Let's see the host, and then we can move on to the database, right? I'll take one of the hosts here. One of the servers that where our agent is installed, right? This is one of the Linux servers, and this is the welcome page where you see a summary of CPU utilization. It provides the host name, right? The distributor version, your kernel release, your IP address, and the number of CPU or cores that are running on this particular host. You have your swap utilization right here. As you can see, swapping is very less, probably based on those current servers are not heavily utilized at the moment, right? And then you can have a look at the chart about your CPU utilization for the last hour. You see it's split into 15 delay of 15 minutes separately. And so you have your memory utilization, the CPU threads for each of the 40 threads that you have, right? And the network usage in terms of average for all your interfaces. You can see the file system distribution. The memory utilization, CPU utilization as well, right? And you can click on those buttons here to see them to have a different view, or click on more to have more details. Right. Here you have the utilization of the memory, the virtual memory, the paging activity. This is specific to the memory. Then you have the storage as well. You can click on file systems for it to show you different file system that is displayed or mounted on the server here. As you can see, we have ACFS mounted, we have NFS mounted, and EXT mounted. This is for internal for the host, and then we have our ACFS that are mounted as well here. And it gives you an idea of the utilization as well. Network connectivity. You have all your different interfaces, and gives you some kind of information that you want to see in terms of broadcasting is running, it's multicast, and so on, right? Okay, sometimes you might not see the maximum information that you're looking for, but it could be a bug here, I don't know. But as you can see, you have an idea of what is happening here. As a network administrator, instead of going and having access to your host, connecting on the command line, and everything is seen here quickly. You can just investigate this in mode connected.
Sorry, I'm just muting these people that have joined. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. You see your top processors, quick view of your top processors and which processors are running and so on. You have the PID, and the user, the owner of the process, and so on here. So those are some very quick view that you can have as a someone monitoring the environment to have a look at what type of performance or statistics you have on your servers, right? So I think this is very well covered in terms of host. You can have a look, and then you can go and further monitor it by connecting to your environment as a system administrator. Okay, so let's have a look at the databases now. Those are usually the main.
Just allow.
So on. All right. So in my databases main page here, you can see it displays all the databases that we have, right? And we have 16 members. They say agent is unreachable on 4 of them. We have up, the agents are up on 12 of them. Does it mean like the databases are down? It's just like you can see here, the agents are unreachable. So the last status was just the agent was not unreachable. Proper status of what is going on. So here it is down, right? So we can't confirm what is going on unless we connect to the server or the agent comes back up again. So those servers right now are down because right? The number of CPU cores that you have for the database setup, right? And the load average, the instance non-database host CPU, the instance background and foreground and processors running, and the way it's displayed here for you to have an idea when you have a specific issue at a particular point in time, right? And then you can see the throughput down here, the IO, right? And parallel execution, and you have the services as well that you can have a look, right? But I think the IO is something that is very explicit for a quick idea of how the database is operating. Here, right? And all the different processes, the events that are displayed. You can see the queuing, right? For this particular point in time, and you can see the CPU weight. Now it's turning to yellow. So it's not the active sessions. It's not a bad. It's not looking bad here, right? In terms of activity, user IO, system IO concurrency is almost negligible here. Commits. Okay, so this shows like the database is functioning at a ideally, right? No complaints right now. We don't have peaks, and the active session is very low. So as you can see, it's hardly 50% of the maximum CPU. Anyone that is using that, so it's fine, right? You can drill down further to have a look at a specific SQL ID and so on, right? And this, instead of going and typing commands, SQL commands, you can just scroll down. You get the SQL ID, you get the SQL itself, right? And you have the statistics for that if you're collecting, right? The number of active sessions that is there and everything related. The rows, number of rows that has been requested, the number of fetchers in terms of cursor, and so on. Right, you have all these different tools that is available, readily available once you have set up your OMS. Okay, but each and every tool here requires specific expert knowledge to use them. So we may, if we plan at a later point in time, we can cover those things. But for this session, we're not covering. Right. Quickly, you can just check about your blocking sessions. If you have a blocked session, this is a quick display that you have as well for that particular database. Okay, we don't have any blocking sessions, right? Which is a good thing. But the more you refresh it and when you can see one session is blocking and so on. So this is how the database operates. Okay, that was under the performance. Before, let's have a look at how we monitor our database, right? I have set some metric collections as well for this one. For example, the main thing that usually we have at a client environment is the database table space. So usually you can have a table space that grows very quickly, and then you need to go and it fills up and it frees the whole transactions that are all the transactions that are running, or it can freeze the whole database as well based on the type of transaction. So you can set a limit, a threshold on your database, right? Where you can say, okay, as soon as the table space, as soon as it's 85%, send me a warning, like, okay, you know, my database is filled up at 85%, and sorry, I had to close my window. The birds that was trying to get in. All right, so 85% is the warning, right? It sends an email to say, okay, you know, there's a problem, there's a warning, we need you to have a look, or just try to fix it. And then as soon as it reaches 90%, it's a critical warning. So this one will come a bit more often based on the way it is set up. It will just let you know, like, okay, it is 90% and you need to fix it as soon as possible. Usually this is 85, you can just lower it down a bit, like up to 70, but this table space is very big, so it's almost 3 terabytes in space. So that is why 85% is still a good value, because when it says it's 85%, so anything, right? It can be something with your data guard environment. It can be a failed AWR that you have been trying to run. Anything in terms of memory, database memory, and data failure detected, or anything in terms of data guard. There's a problem. It's not shipping logs properly, and so on. So you can come here and set those metrics, and then they will send you your email to your where you have saved them, the instruction you have given for OMS to send them to you. Right, I think I've covered a bit here. You can do your provisioning straight away from here. You can clone your table space, right? Your database, sorry, or you can just set your upgrade activity from here itself, and everything goes under one roof here. Then you can just manage your clone, right? Your clone management. You can have a look at the different cloning that you have done and so on, right? You can create new ones, as you can see here. Right, and then you set up your environment from here, your target setup, and so on, right? You have your job activity. I think we've covered that a bit already. All right, so this is some jobs that you have that we have created in terms of backup, right? So these are the backups that that is being done, right? And then you can come and check your backup that is done and so on. Whenever you have any problems or right. So maybe we can just cover a bit of the backup and recovery as well here. So you can come to your environment and check you can schedule backup directly from here as well, right? You can manage your current backups, or you can check the backup reports and delete them or clear them as and when you have this environment to check. Okay, this usually takes a bit of time because it goes and read from the Oman, which is a bit heavy, right? We don't have any backup jobs for this one, so fine. Or you can just go and check your data guard environment. Okay, I'm not sure if I lost connection to the host, right? Probably it's the VPN. I'll have to check it out. So it might take a brief time, so just bear with me. Let me try to refresh this. So I'm still audible, Ahmed?
Yes, yes, yes. You're still audible there. Sorry,
Okay, I will connect again. I just want to refresh this VPN connection because it looks like
okay.
it's a bit present. So
No issues, no issues.
for a while.
Okay, so while we're waiting for Kavit to connect, Ian did make a very good point there. The biggest advantage of Oracle Enterprise Manager, Oracle Grid Control, is it consolidates all your information into an Oracle management repository. So it makes it easier for estate-wide reporting. Guys, to give you an example is that if you want to have a repository for all your hardware, for all your software, for all your database, then Enterprise Manager is the tool for you. So you don't have to keep an Excel spreadsheet with all your different servers, the versions of the OS, the versions of the database. From one single view, you can view everything. Ian has also mentioned another good tip. If you have several databases as an example, you can easily query the OMS repository and report the table spaces where 90% is it's over, that means of a capacity of 90%. So Enterprise Manager makes your life extremely easier. And I strongly suggest you go ahead and set it up at your environment and start using it. Okay, Kavi, I was just talking while you were busy connecting. You can carry on.
Yeah, thank you, Ahmed. To quickly show one example of the DR here that we have. Right, the current DR is down, so I'll show for this one. Right. Okay, like you can see, this is an endpoint where we have the primary host is with this name, PRD, right? It's running on a host with the name 4DB1, right? And then you have a standby database, which is set up through DataGuard, which is running on a different host here. And so you can see once set up as well, you can see you can have a physical, a nice view of your DataGuard environment. And this one is the ABS disaster recovery. The name is a bit explicit here for you. Like it's running on a different one, and it's a physical standby, right? And you can see it's fairly new. So you have, in terms of logs, the last log received was 9.2 and log apply. So it looks like there's no gap here, and it's a good view for people who are who has a DataGuard in their environment, so that they can quickly come and have a look whether it's running properly. So you can just do a quick verification for your database. So what it does, it just initialize your DataGuard environment. It's try to switch a correct log from the primary. It does a health check, right? It updates all the information, and then it will try to ship a file quickly, and then it will just see if everything is working fine, and then give you an idea what is happening, whether you need to look into it further or it's all good to go. Right? Okay, so looks all good here, right? Now we'll just have a quick cover up on the administration, right? You can come and check your storage for that particular database. You can to check your table spaces, for example, right? You can see all your table spaces in front of you. What is the available space, the allocated, and so on. The extent management, the type, whether they are undue, permanent, or temporary, and so on. You can even click on one of them, and then edit them and increase or decrease or manage the table space, or add a particular data file right away from here, right? And so what else? You can check your users. What are the users that are there in the database? You can see all the users, whether they expired, they locked, they open, the temporary table space, edit them as well, right? And then you have all the database objects that you have within the database, the tables, indexes, right? You can check for a particular schema, for example, right? I don't know, maybe apps or this one. It's a read-only user. We can just pick it up. Here we're not doing anything that will harm the database, right? Okay, this user is empty. So I just want to show you a user which is available that we created, so that you can have a look at all the schema objects that we have. Right? Okay, it doesn't have any tables, but this one does. right? So let's select this one for sure. And then you'll have all the what's going on here. Select and enter, right? So I don't know. Okay, so it's waiting and it's trying to pick up the data, and then it will display all the data that is available and so on here, right? So it's querying the database. We just need to wait for a bit. I think I gave a full query here. We can just select any table or any database which is a bit which can be a bit faster. Right. So at the end of this transaction, it will display all the schema, all the table names that exist, the table space where they are being set up. Here we have a partition column. It will tell you whether it's yes or no. It's partition, the number of rows returned, and when it was last analyzed. So I'll just skip this one here because it's taking a bit, right? We'll go to the next part here. Administration, table space, rollback segments, archive logs, and so on, right? Your data files, we've covered that. Initialization parameters within the database, right? As well, you can display that, and it shows you all the infinite parameters that you have set up for your database. Okay, it's a bit slow, but we will, this is how it works, and those are the things like you can pick up directly from your enterprise manager. So all in all, like I said, it's all under one roof, right? And you can set them up properly and have all the data that you want to run. I think this
okay. Thank you, Kavi. I think we run out of time. We already at 10:02, but we'll let this last screen come up. Ian has mentioned a good point there as well. There is a BI publisher in Oracle Enterprise Manager, which is available for free to produce reports, but you are also able to use Apex to produce your own reports. People, what we are trying to do is trying to uplift the community and tap to all the different experts in the field to provide free training for us. So we're going away from PowerPoint, and we're going to make sure we do training, so something that you can use in your organization and you can chat to your manager. We would like to thank Kavi Bison, who is an infrastructure and a database specialist. And what he's covered today is from a single console, you can monitor all your hardware. You can monitor your hardware components on the Oracle hardware. You can monitor your operating system, and you can monitor your database as well. And you can have alerts. Just to give you some background, and my junior team is available with me here, is that that when the juniors join, the one concern that people have is they mustn't, make mistakes on the database. And now with Enterprise Manager, you can allow your junior consultants or your junior team members to log in and monitor and do health checks on the database without you worrying of any issues or any concerns that can happen. So I have a junior team that every day logs on to Enterprise Manager by the guidance of Kavi. They monitor the backups, they monitor physical servers, they monitor the hardware, and if there's any issues, they then go to the senior people and then they discuss the resolution of it all. So guys, that's all from us. We have our user group on the 9th and 10th of November once everything clears. Is there any questions before we close up for Kavi or for anyone? Okay, I don't see any questions coming through. First of all, Kavi, thank you very much for your time. People, if there's anyone that would like to share some information, share some demonstrations, share some learning, please feel free to contact me. And then we can then have a session with the user group to take it up. I am busy discussing with different experts in the field to provide us with more training sessions. Be on a lookout for the emails and do join us. I will also upload the session and share the URL a bit later. Thank you very much. Before I close, I don't see any questions, sorry. Thank you and bye-bye.